Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a community update for August 12th, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so for this video, I'm going to be going over the champion training event that is live currently, which has the reward of a new epic champion featuring the Veil buff that we have not seen unveiled in the game yet. Like what I did there? But yeah, so this champion at the end of the event is going to be the first champion featuring the Veil buff. So we heard about it a week or two ago, and now it's finally kind of being rolled into the game as part of this event. If you are not familiar, Veil is basically stealth. If you've ever played like Hearthstone, it's basically, the character still exists, like normal and can attack and stuff, but it can't be targeted by the enemy. It's like hidden. They can't target it with any abilities or anything. That's what Veil is going to be. And there's going to be Veil and Perfect Veil. And, I'm not 100% clear on this, but I believe Veil disappears when the champion acts, and Perfect Veil does not or something. So, it can stay active even after the champion attacks or something. So there's going to be, a lesser and a better version of it. I'm sure we'll see some legendaries down the road that have Perfect Veil and stuff. So that is, an interesting note as part of, this event and this champion. Let's go over the event here. This is kind of the big thing going on right now, is the champion training event that, is a pretty big event. It's got, 20,000 points to complete, which is going to be very tough, but it is 10 days. So you're going to be needing to do about 2,000 points a day. So, at the end of the first day, you need to be somewhere in here, and then you need to be somewhere like over in here. And, as long as you're on pace of about 2,000 points a day, you should be pretty close to having a chance to complete it. What I did was I took all of the tangible rewards as part of the event, plugged them into my calculator. 200,000 silver, 80 gems, 2 rare books. Oh, it's actually 3. It's actually now, yep. Okay, so 2 and then 1. Excuse me. 3 rare books, 1 legendary book, 2 void shards, 3 2-star chickens, 2 3-star chickens, and 1 4-star chicken. So when I plug all of this in, we get a retail value, according to me, of $24.72. We usually like to pay for good offers, which means that, my willing to pay price would be about $16, but this does not include the offense pieces that come with it. We can see here as part of the rewards, we get a piece here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to be getting 6 pieces of offense gear, which includes 2 legendaries and 4 epics. They are all 5 stars. So that gear is going to be worth different things to different people. For players that are newer into the game, these pieces are going to be more valuable. For players who are super end game, these pieces are probably not going to be super valuable. So, it really comes down to where you're at in the game and how you're gearing your characters. So that's why it's so hard to price value, and you're just going to have to kind of calculate that, bake that into the number that you think the event is worth. We can loosely say about 75 cents a piece. $3 or $4 for all of these pieces of gear is kind of what I would put it at. And then the champion, obviously, I can't really put a price on. I will review the champion here in a little bit and kind of let you know what I think. But yeah, that's kind of the rewards in a nutshell. And if we place like a $5 value on the champion with the gear, we're talking about pretty close to a $25 event here over the course of 10 days, which isn't bad. That's pretty good. Definitely worth, grinding and getting as far as you can. And, if you can spend less than $20 to complete it, I guess technically it would be worth it. But let's go ahead and pull up this Excruciator champion and kind of take a look at it here. In the Demon Spawn, it is this epic right here, Magic Affinity, right next to Allure. So we can see here the artwork is kind of similar to the legendary that came out recently right here. I believe it's very similar. And it is going to feature, as we can see here, the Veil. So as far as stats, we've got a 96 speed, which is pretty average. It's decent. And then, you know, a character that's based around attack. So, you know, not surprising for a character that features Veil, because you're probably going to want like a glass cannon type character to be in the Veil, so that's hidden from being targeted, and then, you know, it's going to be guaranteed to get its attacks off and then go back to hiding again. So not surprising that they're going to unveil the debuff here right off the bat with an attack character, you know, that's kind of, you know, built towards being a glass cannon type. So we got an A1 that attacks once and damage is increased by 20% while attacking under a Veil buff. An A2 that attacks one enemy and damage is increased by 35% while attacking under a Veil buff. We can get that down to a 3-turn cooldown. I'm going to assume that this probably hits pretty hard. If it's going to be on a 3-turn cooldown, single target, I'm assuming it's going to, you know, hit pretty hard. And then the passive here is Invisible Predator. Places a Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn at the beginning of each round. Places a Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn each time they kill an enemy. So, you know, when you're going through waves of the, you know, dungeon bosses, you're clearing out the trash mobs to get to the boss. You know, you're going to be starting each round with a Veil buff on this champion. Now, probably a good strategy in terms of using this champion in dungeons and probably the arena is going to be to have them go last, so that, you know, you kind of have a different damage dealer go, and then with your Excruciator, you can really single target with this Neck Snapper ability, get a kill, and then refresh that Veil. Because you know, it says the passive here is if you get a kill, it's going to put the Veil buff back on them. So you're probably going to want them to go last in your team, or at least pretty close to last. That way they can attack something that's already damaged and keep that Veil buff alive. So, yeah, my initial reaction is I'm intrigued. I think Veil and Perfect Veil is a cool idea. I think it's a very good addition to the game, and it's going to give us something to kind of play around in terms of, you know, the meta and trying out different things and building different types of heroes, putting together different types of teams. So I do think that aspect is cool. This hero seems a bit underwhelming just at my first glance, but it's possible that these abilities hit ridiculously hard and Veil ends up being super valuable. So, you know, I could be wrong there. Excruciator could be incredible. So I'm probably going to do my best to complete the event and get Excruciator. That way I can, you know, keep you guys up to date. I'll probably invest in the champion, test it, you know, put in some work to figure out the multipliers, see exactly how hard these abilities work, and do all that type of stuff. One thing I do want to go over in terms of the event. So this event, if we pull it up here, we can see that, you know, you're going to be getting points based off of leveling them up, upgrading their rank. So leveling them up is the part I want to focus on. A lot of you, when you are ranking up your champions, you have like your champion that's a maxed out level, and then you use a bunch of level 1s to feed as food into them. What I would suggest doing if you're really trying to min-max your energy versus points earned, you're going to want to feed champions that are like level 10. You're going to want to get a few of those really quick, easy to get levels before you feed. So let's say, I'll show you an example here. Let's say I'm going to rank up my Battle Sage here. So I go to the tavern and I'm going to upgrade rank. Okay. So I would feed, you know, I would feed champions like this to upgrade my Battle Sage. But what I'm suggesting you do is, instead of feeding these level 1 5-stars, take them out into the field of battle and get them to like level 10. Because, you know, those first few levels, like, okay, levels 1 through 10 are worth just as many points as levels 40 through 50. So those early levels come really fast, and you can get a lot of, you know, really efficient points in terms of your energy spent. If you know, even for the champions that you're going to feed as food, if you just spend a little bit of energy and go out to the campaign and do just a couple runs and get them a few really quick levels. I'm not saying level them up, you know, halfway or almost to max, but just take them for a couple spins, get some of those quick levels, and over, you know, the course of the next 10 days, just doing that can be really efficient use of your energy to help you get to a point where you're more likely to complete the event. Also, before I end the video, I wanted to go over this offer because it's probably an offer that a pretty good chunk of the player base is going to be getting. So let's pull it up here and this is what the offer is. It's gonna, you know, have the let me fix this, the 600,000 silver, and then you know, the 600 gems, the 100 XP brews, and the 5-star chicken. You know, according to my values, it comes, you know, out to something I would be willing to pay about $28 for. Is kind of my price point of when I would think of buying this. So I would like to see this priced at like $29.99. It's priced at $49.99. So this one would jump into the bad category in terms of my calculator, but I do want to note 5-star chicken is much more valuable to new players. Like, you know, for players that are not to a point in the game that I'm at where I can farm XP really fast and I already have a bunch of food saved up, 5-star chicken, like if I were a brand new player and I didn't have a 6-star yet or something, 5-star chicken is actually worth a lot more. So an offer like this can be a little bit skewed for an endgame player in terms, you know, versus a newer player. So do keep that in mind. But in terms of my value on this offer, this one, you know, unfortunately probably falls into the category of something that I wouldn't really be in the market to buy at this time. So yeah, you know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, what your first kind of impressions are of Veil and of the Excruciator, and, you know, if you're going to be going after this event or if you think it's too hard to complete and all of that. I always enjoy interacting with you guys and listening to what you have to think. So yeah, that's going to kind of do it for this community update video, and good luck in the event. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.